First time here? Welcome to Homegrowtv. You're watching the Behind the Seeds vlog series. If you love grow content and strain tests, hit that subscribe button and get ready. Because this episode's packed tighter than a jar of cured. Today, we're taking it straight to the tents for some late flower inspection. Checking out the Ridgeline Farms genetics doing their stanky final flower thing. Then we hit the CO₂ room, where our homemade crosses are stacking like crazy. You're gonna hear from Grow Bro Bryan, dropping some stoner wisdom on them terps.
Super bueno los cogollos, la estructura.
And after that, it's off to the Bamboo Classic Greenhouse for late veg.
Let's get this greenhouse tour rolling.
We'll be topping beds.
All right, Bri, there it is. We did it, buddy.
Training plants.
So much more training to do over the next few days when things kind of bounce back.
And probably getting way too excited about node spacing.
I think you're right, yeah. Some of these look taller, but these on the Pungent Punch do look a little bit wider.
Oh, I almost forgot. It's been a few episodes since we picked a winner from the comment section. So drop a comment for your chance to win a $100 AC Infinity store credit. And we'll be showing the winner on the next upload. Huge shout out to AC Infinity for supporting growers worldwide. Much love, and let's get this episode started.
What is up, guys? We're officially back to the vlog. Day 51 flower and all the indoor stuff. This week, we're gonna start in the tents with all the Ridgeline genetics in the AC Infinity 4x8, the 2x4. Then we'll hop over to the CO₂, which is just on the other side of this wall. Crazy in there. It's crazy in here. I gotta say, last update we were in that awkward phase of flowering. This time we're in full-blown late flower, so get ready for a sick update, dude.
Oh yeah, I know this one. I know this one.
So last month's update, we started in the CO₂ room. This time, we're gonna come to the tents first. It's crazy in here. We're gonna go to the 4x8, but first, let's talk about this 2x4. The really fun test we're doing, the 2x4 versus the 4x8. 4x8 is straight cocoa. The 2x4 is our homemade mix with castings, some amended soil, and we just let a bunch of this other stuff grow and just kind of let things do its stuff. But like, wow, my, oh my, are these some of the frostier buds that we've had. This is crazy. So this is the Ridgeline, the Cheetah Piss cross to Lantz Ridgelion number 25. There's the 25 in the cocoa. But first, looking at this one, we got trichomes coming all the way out on the fan leaves. Fan leaves are quickly turning into sugar leaves, and sugar leaves are just full on part of the bud on this thing. Really, really nice. The aromas on it are incredible, bro. But it's everything I like from the Lantz in here, plus a bit of the resistance and the growth structure from the actual Cheetah Piss, which is really nice. On this side, we have the Lantz number 5, which is the same as the Lantz number 5 in the cocoa. The Lantz is just a very tall, stretchy plant. Unreal, though, is what she gives you. She's pretty much touching the light up here. So day 51, late flower, is when my plants really start to love Sticky Bandit. For those that don't know what Sticky Bandit is, let me throw up the little Cronk GPT right here. Sticky Bandit is what's gonna put your terps out of control, right? It's like carb loading all of your trichomes. It's like the sugars that your plants want, especially when they're creating crazy trichomes and flavors. So whenever we run Cronk, we're always running Sticky Bandit, although it's recommended all the way through early veg, kind of into late flower. For us, it's really beneficial when we get into mid to late flower. You literally visually see the difference and you smell the difference in your plants when you start to give them this carbo load from the Sticky Bandit. It's like food directly for the trichomes. Even for those that aren't using Cronk, it's a good additive to whatever you are using to just totally terp out max your plants. My recommendation this week, guys, Sticky Bandit for any of those guys mid to late flower. Your plants are gonna love you for it. So last time we were in here in the 2x4, we were already getting those aromas. Again, we've grown all this Ridgeline stuff in the greenhouse. These are our winners from the greenhouse brought into the indoor. This week though, being week 8, things are in full mighty bloom. My God, Lantz should literally be its own category of terp aromas. Oh, irrigation's going off. The plants are officially getting fed. Always 1 hour after lights turn on, they immediately start to feed. How, you might ask? With the monitors from Pulse. So if we're being redundant, we literally show this on every episode, but depending on what these monitors are reading to on the Pulse is when the plants get fed. It sounds like, yeah, the 2x4 is already getting her first watering right now. And then the Lantz itself, on this Lantz number 5, let me take a whiff of that sucker. God. You show up to any cup, any party, people are gonna love you when you bring this terp. So again, they really tall stretchers. They look like they're smaller buds, although pretty dense. Internodal spacing, not too bad, right? We could definitely have some better stacking on here. This is just the way they turned out in this little 2x4. We're gonna make some adjustments on the next runs to have them look a little bit more like this. So here's the exact same plant, right? The Cheetah Piss number 25, the Ridgeline number 25. As you can see here, she's stacking way better when in cocoa. So I think the reason is we're just nailing the drybacks a little bit more precise, a better overall feed cycle to give us a better internodal spacing, bigger buds, also looking dense and resinous as well.
I'm just calling to say
This number 25, very purple. But what I did notice when I came in this week is a lot of these Ridgelions are much heavier feeders than some of the Lantz, although everything could probably use a little bit more nutrients. So we were just following Cronk's feed guide as we always do, but now that we've grown this strain, we've seen it, next round I would probably step up our EC just a little bit. You know, when we grew this Ridgeline number 11 in the outdoor, she was already purple by now, obviously getting some colder weather in the evening, but here in the indoor, she's just been asking for more and more food. So although looking really nice, I know we potentially could have blown her out even more if we would have had that food dialed in.
Okay.
It is what it is, and I think no matter what, it's still gonna turn out to be a pretty potent and tasty toke. That is for sure. Let's take a smell check on this. This was our winner from the outdoor, the Ridgeline number 11. Unreal. It's everything I love from a good Lantz. But I love the structure on these Ridgelions a little bit more than the Lantz.
Okay.
Talking about the Lantz now, they're densing up. They're much bigger than the last upload that we did. Already getting so heavy we had to tie up a few of the buds here with some of the AC gardening wire. Really big, really fat, stacking up really nice. And the terps are just in their own world. Literally, you grow this and you understand what it means to have a terp that can win an Emerald Cup in several different cups. This right here, guys, is award-winning terps in so many ways. So we have 3 of the Lantz number 11, all looking really good. Could have also used a bit more food as well. You can kind of starting to see that fade, but now that we're getting into week 8, we're gonna start tapering down the food, and by next week they'll be getting just water and letting them fatten up for the last little bit and right to harvest. But look at the 25s, bro. The 25s are just purple, ridiculous. This one back here, I think would make it into high times. This bud is so nice, bro. Purple, beautiful. But that purple can be deceiving sometimes because if you go to the bottom of the plant, you can still see a little bit of deficiencies going on here. If we run them again, we know we're definitely going to go harder on the food. I think we can get buds probably 2 times as big as this just by changing up the food. But either way, this is the type of bud, dude, that's going to sit in my jars. And I'm going to be the happiest little camper every day rolling doobies of this up. It is unreal.
3, 2, 1. Talk to me.
Then the Lantz number 5, I think we've come to an overall conclusion. Lantz number 5 versus Lantz number 11. Even though I like the color on the 5 more, the one over there, this one's a little bit more green. It's still gonna go purple, but the buds are just way bigger. Way bigger buds on the 11. Maybe more buds on the 5. Like it looks like there's a few more buds. Unfortunately, we found mold. So we found our first chunk of mold there, second chunk of mold here. We got to cut this out here today. It's no one's fault but our own. 83% humidity is way too high for late flower. This was an experiment. We do have like a really big dehu we can throw in here. The only reason we didn't, I really wanted to put this ProGuard test to the max. You know, my thoughts were this ProGuard actually, the more humid it is, the better it works at cleaning the air, as crazy as that sounds. It turns out we still ended up getting bud rot. There's zero powdery mildew. We've had lots of issues with powdery mildew in past grows, not at this house, but in other places. It's a nightmare to deal with. Here, not so much. We have literally, it's crystal clear. It looks perfect. You know, we got zero issues on every single one of the Ridgelions, whereas the Lantz, one of them's looking perfect. The other one already has 2 chunks of bud rot. So I think maybe we do put the dehu in here for the last week. I think another week for most of the plants, like Ridgelion's gonna get another week. And then I would say Lantz needs probably about 10 days, right? Because once you get up close and you look at the good shots of her, this Lantz number 5 is a bit quicker than the Lantz 11, but I mean, this bud could definitely use another 10 days easy, you know, and it's just gonna fatten up, get crazier. I love the colors in the back, that fall, autumn looking color. So far, really good, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments of the setup. Again, AC Infinity tent, absolutely cranking it. We got the Evo 10s in here. Evo 10s are still only set to 5, right? It gives such good spread on the 10s compared to the 8s. So we have it set to 5. The light amount is really good in here. If we were growing everything from clone, everything at the same level, it'd be much easier to have this canopy kind of dialed in. That being said though, I don't regret this grow whatsoever. This tent, this outdoor room, every time we walk outside and you smell the air coming out of here, it literally smells like we're at Jason's farm. Really, really, really nice. So let me know in the comments below, guys, which one of you, or if any of you have actually tried any Ridgeline Farms genetics, which ones you have tried, and which one of you guys are gonna give a go of the Lantz or the Ridgelion. Superb buds. And now that we're getting close to harvest, let me know what you guys think we should throw in here. I will say, I already have an idea or two of what I wanna fill this tent with. It is gonna be from seed, and we may be making some switches to this entire grow. So yeah, get ready because some big changes will be coming soon on the upcoming updates. We're gonna fully swap out some stuff on how we're irrigating, something that I think is gonna be a lot easier for home growers, just to simply be auto feeding your plants without doing a complicated reservoir system with tubing and pumps and all that kind of stuff. Now, let's get Grow Bro Bryan in here and ask what his favorite terps are when it comes to Lantz versus Lantz, the Ridgelions, and then Ridgelion versus Lantz, what does he like best? Let's get him in here and ask him. ¿Cómo vas?
Súper bien. Brother, no, la verdad salieron muy buenos, tienen una estructura rara pero muy chimba, súper rendidora siempre en casi todas las plantas, súper buenos los cogollos, la estructura, la Lantz sí se ve un poquito como más estirada, más larga, pero también los cogollos son muy buenos. Está en un color, como digámoslo así, como una transición, está verdecita pero también se está tirando ya como su fade. Mira la diferencia, este sí tiene, es como mucho más rápida. Esta está mucho más resinosa, demasiado. Hasta lo más lejos del cogollo está súper resinosa, el tallo súper, pero no nos da una buena rendimiento. Unos cogollos pequeñitos, raros, chimbas obviamente, pero no es tan productora. Wow.
Overall, great work, Brian, in the whole garden, bro. Things are looking good. Terps are smelling good. Let's go look at the CO2.
Let's go.
With the blues beat to the side, it's still fantastic. I start to get up the
All right, now let's head into the CO₂ room and take a whiff of totally different terp profiles with all these emoji crosses. First off, taking a look on the screen, as we can see, we're on day 51. Flower dropped in humidity, which is really nice. That seems to be a little bit higher during the night times, but so far so good. Obviously our VPD could be a little bit lower. 1.5 would be ideal. The temp is way too high. I wonder if the AC's off or what. And this full dashboard, this is from Pulse. This is how we look at all of our metrics. We can see all this stuff day by day. Oh my God, it smells so different in here than it does in the Ridgeline tent room. Immediately smells like candy in here. Crazy, bro. Fruity, fruity, candy, candy. So far, I gotta say, this Toronjaz emoji, for me, I'm very stoked on it. Again, we had 0 herm issues on it. The terps on these, it's crazy, bro. Oh my God, they're all either leaning more on the Toronjaz citrusy kind of grapefruit, or they're leaning more on the emoji, which is like watermelon, candy, deliciousness. The size on them is crazy, bro. They look unreal. They seem to be one of the faster flowering strains out of all 3. And the size also pretty decent on a few of these. A few of them are a little bit smaller, but on others, perfect, nice, big buds. Again, this is a CO₂ room. Everything powered by AC Infinity, from the fans to the extractor to the lights is all AC Infinity, and even our CO₂ setup is AC Infinity. We have the ppm sitting between 1200 to 1500 of CO₂ in this room throughout most of flower, and that's why we're getting some just ridiculous frost, some big buds, looking really good. The Moweetos, I gotta say, in general, are some of the bigger buds in the whole garden. This was also the strain though where we had the most herm issues out of everything. Last month's update, when I came down here, we found it was probably about 30% of all the Moweetos were having hermaphroditic traits, which is something you never want to see. If you're buying a pack of beans, one of them herms, it sucks. You find 2 herms out of 10, that's crazy. 3, that's nuts, and that should never happen, and that's what we found on this Moweeto crossed to the Watermelon Emoji. None of the other strains did the same thing. So something happened. We're still gonna test them in the outdoor, which you guys are gonna see in a second. Are they gonna herm out there as well? You know, hopefully not. That would be a total pain in the ass. But that being said, I'm glad we kept them around and just picked off some of the sacks and actually grew them out. Huge buds, huge buds. So yeah, all the Bombas are very tall, probably the tallest out of all 3 crosses. We're starting to find some of these that are potential winners, but we're not gonna know until we roll these up into doobies and actually toke them to see. So every now and then we get a plant in the garden that grows a little bud on the leaf. Now you can see that's a beautiful bud growing on the leaf. The frost on even the lowers is just really nice, dude. Like midway bottom section of the plant, all beautiful. We're finding some that are a little bit faster than others, but for the most part, the Bomba is the one that takes the longest. But I think also is gonna have some of the craziest crowd pleasers in here, no doubt.
They say that I'm such a weirdo. Tattoos from my toes to my earlobe. Was a role model, I never had a hero. I learned how to live through the stereo.
Now that we've taken a look at the plants, you can see the canopy is packed. Let's start with some of the terp checks on the Toronjaz. Most of the garden been fully green, but the Toronjaz, as we can see, on about a quarter of the Phenos are some of the heavier feeders. Most of the garden, perfectly green. Some of the Toronjaz, we're asking for more nutrients. So that's just something to keep in mind. I think that's definitely coming from the Toronjaz side of the family. Brian was telling me, look at number 2. So we're gonna take a whiff of number 2, which is right here. Oh, wow. Smaller buds for sure, but extremely loud terps. Very much leaning on the Toronjaz side of things. I really loved Toronjaz when we grew it out the first time. That's why we kept the mother plant for so long. in a realm of orange and citrus of her own. Comes from the Atomic Tangerine crossed to the Tropicana Punch. But my favorite is number 12. Number 12 is in the middle. On that side, I was eyeing her up since the last upload. She looks like the best one. She looks the best. She smells the strongest. We don't know until we actually roll her up and taste her. There's some serious power in the Toronjaz number 12. And then the monster bud from last month's upload has just gotten even bigger. That thing's huge, bro. So I think that's also coming from the Toronjaz side of things. These big monster buds. Tall stretchers with crazy power. Oh, I like that one over there too. That other tall one's looking really nice. Also looks like it's leaning on the Toronjaz side of things. That one's number 6. Again, let's smell these other ones, but so far for me, I really am leaning on the Toronjaz Emoji cross. It's just, what a crazy combo of terps. The Moweeto, again, we're growing her for fun at this point, just to see. With the hermishes that we found last week, I mean, you can see a lot of the big buds looking really good. We're getting some purple in there, stacking really nice on this one behind as well. We're getting a lot of nice cakes, as I was hoping to get in there, and even some cake with candy, which is really nice, and I haven't smelt that combo too often. Yeah, just was, I guess, the failure of the batch was crossing the Moweeto. That one smells nice, so I really like the smell on this one. This one's caked up, bro. That one's totally caked up. Unreal in here. And then let's go over to the Bombas. Oh, we're already getting that jet fuel gelato. Really nice. Some of them even a little bit of wedding cake, but not too much candy or emoji, which I'm actually surprised about. I was expecting to find a few more leaning on the watermelon emoji side, but you can just tell by the structure in here, on the height on everything, that most of these are leaning on the Bomba. Right? Like the watermelon emoji just doesn't get this tall. You know, at least the one that we crossed her into. The Bomba is one of the frostiest plants we've ever grown. Crazy, bro. I'm gonna have to get the other camera out here for us to properly see the frost level on here. Whiffing her, yeah, oh yeah. And you can see trichomes growing all the way down these fan leaves. Total frost monster. Definitely some good jet fuel gelato babies up in here. But again, this Bomba is the one that we're just gonna have to wait till we actually dry her up, cure her up, toke her up, which you're gonna find on Mr. Q's channel in order to find out who the real winner is. Let me know in the comments down below, guys. When you guys seen the last update to this one, did you expect to see so much growth in here? And which out of those 3 strains did you think was gonna be the crazy winner, bro? Pretty sure I already got my favorite picked out, and I think it's the Toronjaz. She's gorgeous, bro. Really, really nice. Wow. Why is the AC off? That's crazy. No wonder it's so hot in here. I gotta turn that thing on right away. And that has probably been stressing out the plants quite a bit. 32 is just too hot, man. But that bud is sexy. We gotta find that AC remote, get this sucker turned on. Let's get Brian in here to get his thoughts on everything as well. Great work, buddy. And what's your Instagram? Where do we follow you, bro?
Cultura-paisa420 o Leblons. En estructura, parce, mira, puedes ver, todo está súper loco. Bro, las Moweetos son los cogollos más locos y están muy grandes. El terpeno de estas toronjas están, parce, todos los olores están súper elevados. Parce, a mí me gusta más la Bomba, la verdad. Está un poquito más demorada, pero sí la quiero terminar de ver. El segundo puesto puede estar Toronjaz y en el tercero Moweeto. Pero siempre le tengo fe a la Bomba. La Bomba siempre te va a dar un efecto, parce. Me gusta empujarla. ¿Qué podemos sacar en su esplendor, en su máxima nota de sabor? Aquí siempre estamos tratando de responderle con las mejores cosas y nada, seguir cultivando, seguir cosechando, seguir en este mundo que es una chimba, nada más.
Good shit, brother. Quick note too, as soon as we turn on the air conditioner, the VPD is right around where we want it at. So everything's looking a lot better metrics wise. It was just the AC that was off.
I'm stuck in space, got a daydream running through my brain every day. Heaven in my denim, world's a bore, but I'm okay anyway. I wanna shake it out.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the greenhouse. We're here in day 63 veg. It's me, Bro Bryan. I officially learned English, and I'm gonna take you guys through a full walkthrough today because we got a lot of work to do. We're gonna be walking through the greenhouse today, checking everything out. It is looking beautiful in here, guys. What do you say, Bri? We'll take them through bed by bed. We'll show them cama por cama. We got some work to do later in just a little bit. We got some scrogs to set up. We're gonna show you guys some cool things we've been doing with IPM. You guys ask us all the time. And we're gonna show you a cool new foliar spray we've been doing to keep these babies in perfect health status. So let's get this greenhouse tour rolling. First off, as always, Brian, I just wanna say you're a great grower. Great work representing and doing God's work up in here, bro. So this first bed, last time we were here was day 36, you remember? And today is day 36 in veg. Day 36 practically since we put them in the beds. Now it's day 63. And this first section, what do we have here? This is the granny candy, bro. Compared to last time, I mean, let's throw a video clip up. Big difference. Lots and lots of growth. If we look from the top down, it's really filled in nicely. They're gonna take really nicely to a good trellis net. What do you think, Brian? Los finos se ven igualitos? The finos look similar? They do, right? Yeah, they do. A lot of similarities. Everything's been topped once since that last episode. I think just one topping down here below. So everything's got like 4 tops basically, and some stronger ones than others. Some bigger ones than others as well, but that's normal in a pheno hunt. But in general, everything looks like pretty much the same strain all around. Looking really good. Look how they kink up like that. They get that little boom boom. That's gonna be a beautiful nug. And once we throw the trellis on here in a little bit, we're gonna train them to the side like this and space them out. So again, this entire bed this time is going to be the Humboldt Seed Company Granny Candy, available on Seedsman as well. You guys got that code Homegrowtv to save yourself on your order, as well as it helps support the channel, so thank you guys to that. These were ones, I know we said this on the last update, but if you're just tuning in now, the reason we really wanted to do Granny Candy on this run is just how terpy, delicious, and beautiful it was when we went to go check it out at Humboldt Seed Company at the Anchor Farm where Nat was actually breeding these babies. Splendid, beautiful, delicious cultivar on this one. As far as washing, I don't know. I honestly don't know with these type of candy, delicious, yummy terps. Might not be the best washer, but the cool thing is with this greenhouse on this next round, a lot of this is going to be going into dry flower, whereas last round, everything went into wash. As far as plant health, in a second, we're gonna talk to you about what we've been doing for our regime on IPM. You can see here and there's like a little caterpillar bite here and there, or some type of grasshopper, but overall, things have been looking really good. We're using a lot of different organic things that are very popular here in Colombia that work really well. We'll talk about that in a second, but first let's finish reviewing these babies. They're looking great. Into the lower canopy, at some point, we're gonna have to come in here and clear some of this stuff out. You know, looking good on health, looking good on soil as well. A nice top dress would be good here at some point. Our stems looking nice and thick, looking strong, right? You can see where they got topped here after 1, 2, 3, 4th node, boom, top on that 5th up to create a beautiful 4 split right now. So each one of them pretty much have about 4 tops coming out. Once we double these down to the side, we're really gonna be able to fill this canopy. As far as height and size, it's pretty parallel to some of the other bigger beds as well, which we'll talk about here in a second. But let's talk about the surprise to us, which was these Autoflowers. Right? We didn't know they were autoflowers. Did you know? ¿Tú sabías que eran autos? No, we had no idea until we put them in the ground. 63 days since transplanting these into the ground, and they're far along into flower now. I already see the first little bit of mold in here. You see that mold? But the buds look really nice. Really nice. Some of them purple from the inside out, like these ones here. And then some of them are just green, like this one right here. This is the one we were showing last time too. They were just starting to flower, but now they are well on their way. I would say past mid-flower on some of them, or if not in mid-flower. Another 3 weeks maybe, we'll have to see. Everything else looks healthy. I don't really see any mold or anything. This is weird, huh? This is like just starting to flower on the side, but the top's already way further ahead. So this is garlic butter fast, not released. This is a test from Humboldt to see if they can create a fast flowering version of the photo period garlic butter, which their garlic butter is renowned for washing really good, being a really good extract plant, very resinous, very big heads. You know, fun test, but let me know what you guys think. And what do you think too, Brian? Once we harvest this, should we just put clones of the Punto Rojo in here and just see what happens? Because we'll basically put clones in. They're only going to have a week or two, or they're going to be flowering right from clone, which I think Punto Rojo from Black Tuna Seed Co., it's their volume 2. They've crossed the traditional Punto Rojo to the Colombian Rosada. We got to see the plant in person in Santa Marta. Very true to a land race. So that could be fun. Let me know in the comments, guys. When we take these out, should we fill the bed or leave it empty? And if we fill the bed, what strain should we do? We're thinking Punto Rojo. Let us know what you guys think. Out of all of them, this is my favorite one. She's just beautiful. And you can see resin coming all the way out on the leaf. The garlic butter fast from Humboldt Seed Company. It'll be cool to see when they finish this project up. Let's hop over to bed number 2, bro. One of your favorite breeders on the last batch, Shadowborn genetics, bro. Here he is in all of his glory, Grape Graffiti. So this is Pungent Punch crossed to Traffola, crossed to this third one right here. Really cool. It's still in the family of the Pungent Punch, but one of the most luscious plants and cultivars of the entire greenhouse. You can see Shadowborn did a really good job as far as breeding this or stabilizing it, because they all look pretty much exactly the same, huh? Todos se ven igualitos. Really nice health. You can see that kind of lighter green into darker green. Things are stretching, looking fantastic. We got some with really big internodal spacing, which for outdoor is totally okay. If we look at it from this way, all these branches are going to be able to be bent over sideways inside the trellis net, and all the side shoots are going to start to come up. If we go underneath the canopy, it's looking good in there. It's looking really good. How often are you feeding and watering, Brian? ¿Cada cuánto das comida? Every day and a half on average.
Muchas veces cuando hace mucho sol, sí, todos los días, y todos los días estamos acá compartiendo.
Yeah, good point. It has been weeks of overcast like this, but yet still the plants are stretching and just growing majorly. We only get about a day or two of sun, but I can already see pre-flower. I can already see a pistil in here. She's asking to flower. I can see pistils all up in here already, which is great. We know that they're definitely, these are all fem seeds. On the last run, we had such good luck with the Pungent Punch. She was so terpy and so delicious. So knowing that this is probably gonna be a dry flower run, this Grape Graffiti is gonna be really exciting to see. This one's a bit different. It's got much tighter internodal spacing. But on general, yeah, everything's the same. I would say the biggest plant though, just like last time, is right here. Recuerda la vez pasada también eran los más grandes.
Misma estructura, pero sí están un poquito más grandes.
If we flash to the last run, this is where we had the chicken and waffles from the Humboldt Seed Company. Now everything is Grape Graffiti here from Shadowborn, but for some reason, we always had bigger buds on the right side, or taller plants, I should say. Same thing is happening here. Already, I mean, if I was standing in the bed, they're almost my height. Right now, they're a bit taller than me. Wow, strong though. They're looking beautiful. And then foliar feeding, which we'll talk about in a second as well. Brian's been doing some good foliar feeding. That's just why the plants look so good. You can't really find a deficiency, but you do see some like this with like, I don't know if that's a burn or if it's something going on with the genetic itself, but some of them have like a little bit of off coloring compared to the leaves of a different plant. This one, same thing. Let me know in the comments if you guys know what is going on here. Could be a light burn, but it also could be pheno-specific sensitivity to something. But overall looking beautiful, Brian, for day 63. I can see comparing now that we're going to talk about the next row, which this right here is Pungent Punch, also from Shadowborn. I can see the height on these Grape Graffiti seems to be a little bit higher. We are on a hill right now, But what do you think, Brian? Is Grape Graffiti bigger than Pungent Punch? ¿Es más grande?
De pronto este está un poquito más, tiene mejor estructura. Es como, yo lo digo como tupido, es como más...
Okay, wider bush. I think you're right, yeah. Some of these look taller, but these on the Pungent Punch do look a little bit wider. You can see down here, this one got topped twice already. So it got topped at the very bottom, and then it got topped and topped. So this has already had 2 toppings, which maybe is why we're seeing on the, 6 tops, 8 tops. If we look from the bottom down, we can see the canopy is pretty full. So some major de-leafing needs to happen at some point, but right now everything's just looking so good. There's no point in doing that. Really green, dark leaves, tops nice light green from that stretch, and just constant growth. So Shadowborn genetics, what do you have? 2 strains? I don't know, 10 plants on the last run, now has like 60 plants and 2 entire beds. When we find something we like, especially really cool to be supporting a small time batch breeder like Shadowborn. I know they're running greenhouses, they're really thoroughly testing and crossing their different parentals, but you can see here, and we're gonna see in flower, they do prestigious work. Make sure you guys follow his Instagram as well. Ongoing battle. I think he's probably opened, 5, 6 different accounts, keeps getting shut down. Instagram's not gonna stop us, so make sure you guys follow him on Instagram right now, Shadowborn. And for those of you that don't know, again, we are based here in Colombia. We're on the equator, which means we have a full year-round grow season, right? Whereas it's Croptober right now in the US, everyone's pretty much harvested everything, and they're gonna wait to reset till next season. Well, here in Colombia, it's 365. You can pretty much go all year round. That being said, October, November do happen to be some of the rainier months. By December, sun's coming out again strong, but you can literally live here and not even notice the difference in seasons all year round. It's just beautiful. It really is beautiful. Like the weather right now is probably sitting at 22 to 25 degrees Celsius, which is this much in Fahrenheit. But yeah, for those curious, how are you doing another run right now in October? Well, it's because it's always 12-12 light here throughout the entire year in Colombia. How do we keep them from flowering if it's 12-12 all year round? Well, we have these little lights. We have 30-watt LEDs placed around each bamboo pole. So it's kind of stadium lighting all the way around. Those turn on from 6 p.m. till midnight, allowing us to keep them in a vegetative state. And then when we want to kick over to flower, boom, lights turn off, keep it at just the natural 12-12, and everything starts flowering. For those curious, yeah, that's how we do it. We live in Colombia. I really encourage you guys to come travel here at some point. It's beautiful. So as we go to our next bed, the Trilogene, the medicinal, the CBD bed, I want to explain to you guys what it is that we've been using as far as IPM, pest control, and then we'll talk about foliars. Bro Bryan right here has some products. Again, we cycle between how many different products? Maybe 12, como 12 diferentes productos que estamos usando, right? So a lot of different stuff. We always use 1 or maybe 2 max every time that we do a preventative spray. So we're just gonna show you 3 different ones, but we do cycle between a lot of them, and we'll show you more on each upload. So this one must be really well known to everyone who's watching this. This is neem oil, right? And this is gonna be great and do wonders for a lot of different pests, such as aphids, spider mites, just overall a nice good preventative. We use this at 3 milliliters per liter, and we probably use it maybe once a week, if not once every 2 weeks, as we cycle through many different things. So these 2 right here, these are national products from here, made in Colombia for Colombian different types of grows. These are plant extracts. These are organic, right? So we have different colors. We like to use the blue, the purple, I think there's a green as well, hay un verde. Green. And so each one of these will be for different things, like roses or rice or avocados. And some of them are going to be better against spider mites. Some of them are going to be better against whiteflies. And then some of them are just for the larva of either the spider mites or the different insects as well. So again, plant extracts, organic, made in Colombia for different cultivars and different things that they grow here. Works really good and really low doses. You know, it's like 1 milliliter per liter on most of the stuff that we're using with. Sometimes we use them alone. Sometimes we combine them with different foliar feed feeds as well. In a sec, we'll talk about what we're doing as far as feeding the plants with foliars and how often we're doing that. But first, let's talk about Trilogene, bro. We got here CBD. It's the first CBD grow we've ever done together, but with Bry, we're doing it with the breeder recommended to us from Jorge Cervantes. Last month's upload, I showed you guys this plant here. It has like a mutation. Yeah, that's right. So variegation. Again, you guys are awesome in the comments. I knew it was one of those things. I just didn't know the name for it. This happens in all different types of plant species. And every now and then it happens with an actual pheno, and some breeders are breeding specifically for this. In the case of Trilogene, I don't think so. We have it on 2 plants. It's just happening on the Don. So all these shorter plants here, way thicker leaf, looks way more indica structure, shorter, bushier, strong, really strong. Like I can't even bend this, bro. So all these here are the Don from Trilogene.
Okay.
This is another breeder also available on Seedsman and comes highly recommended from my first mentor, Jorge Cervantes. He told me you got to check them out. They're doing amazing work. They don't do just CBD. They do a lot of psychoactive as well. But these CBDs are supposed to be actual tasty, delicious CBDs, which when we've grown CBD in the past, it was always hard to find something that was actually tasty like an actual psychoactive plant. So these ones here, it's gonna be really cool to see. The Don, I'll put a little picture of what Trilogene predicts it should look like. When we get to these ones look totally sativa. They look much taller, much thinner leaf structure, much bigger plants. This right here is all ultra pink. Again, very sativa leaning, and all the ultra pinks look exactly the same. So clearly the breeder at Trilogene has done great work as far as stabilizing and creating something. I know it's very important for the CBD market, depending on what country, that it has to be below a certain percent of THC, but it's supposed to be some top-notch medicinal plants right here. I don't know which one I'm more excited about. Bry, which one are you more excited about, the Don or ultra pink?
Para mí el Don.
The Don, just why? Because it looks more indica or just bushier?
Sí, por el nombre, el chimba de nombre, la estructura me gusta y voy a ir por esa.
Nice, I like that. So Brian, if you're choosing the Don, I'm gonna choose ultra pink. I'm very excited about ultra pink. It's gonna be crazy to manage the growth on here. Everything is gonna have to get cloned here very soon as well. That's the other conversation. So starting next week, we should be cloning everything in the greenhouse. And it might take us a few weeks to get everything backed up, but every single one of these beds is a pheno hunt. And I know a lot of people in Colombia, myself included, that wants a really good clone of CBD that actually tastes good, that you can actually roll up and balance out your spliff with like a nice tasting medicinal plant. That's the goal here on this hunt. I'll throw up Trilogene's socials right here. Check them out on Instagram, guys. I think they post some really cool, informative stuff as well. Available on Seedsman. Check them out. We cannot wait to get them into flower. The Don, nice medium height plant. Ultra pink, huge, bro. Let's hop over into everything else from here on down. These are all homemade crosses that we've made. We're testing in the indoor as well. Ooh, so this first bed right here, Toronjaz by Emoji, dude. Look at this. This one didn't get a topping yet. We'll have to definitely top the ones that didn't, but look at the size on that leaf. Big, healthy. The indoor is looking incredible. This Toronjaz crossed to Emoji, but it really does smell candy, citrus, delicious, beautiful. So far, been really healthy and good. Again, our dog came through when we first planted and killed one plant. Killed the second plant, killed 3, 4, and you know, we try to put some in to catch up, but it's just not having it. So we kind of got an empty section of the bed here, but the rest of the bed looking not too shabby, bro, not too bad. This is probably one of the healthiest, biggest ones, and it's been topped just once. So one top, we got 4 beautiful tops on it right now. These are gonna look great with the scrog. Look how thick the stem is on that one, bro. Mira que grueso es este. Thick, thick, thick. I can already see some pistils shooting out for pre-flower. She's like, flower me, papa. Look, here's our little plant wrecker. I remember when we adopted you and you were just a tiny little pup, and now you're 9, 10 months old. An active little bugger, aren't you? Looking good. We got a lot of hope for these because in the indoor, as Brian said, some of our favorites. Terp-wise, some of the favorites. You know, we still obviously have to test them all the way through, do the toke test, but looking beautiful in here. So Brian, let's talk about the foliar sprays for feeding, because look how healthy this is. The epitome of health. It's so healthy. About once a week, every 7 days to every 14 days, we've been doing a foliar feed. So here's the cool thing. You can literally use the ChatGPT created by Cronk that gives you advice on Puur Organics on how to do a good foliar feed. So it told us, use these 3 products. Those get fed to the plants in a foliar spray, right? Como what? Once a week or twice a week? Una vez a la semana? O
Una vez a la semana.
towards the end of the day or very early morning, we're coming in here and giving them just a nice feed. You can just see these ladies are loving it, dude. This is the healthiest plant of like the whole greenhouse, bro. So healthy, so strong. This is gonna be beautiful, dude. We gotta make sure we clone all of these as well, because man, we gotta make an F2 of this. This is beautiful, bro. Nice, yeah. So I didn't even realize we're on a new bed right now. This is all the La Bomba from Compound Genetics crossed to the Watermelon Emoji from Copycat. This is actually one of the ones that Brian is most excited about. I can't lie, I am also. I'm not always a gas lover, but this one here, I've never been let down. I'm really hoping we either get some really gassy candies or we just get an easier, faster flowering version of La Bomba. La Bomba usually takes 9 weeks, even longer. It's a very long flowering plant. But when crossed to the Emoji can be a 55-day harvest, you know? So if we find something in the mix of those two, you know, that's gonna be the winner right there. You know, I can already see by the height, Bomba is a much taller stretcher. This thing might be leaning more on the Emoji side, just very green, very easy to grow. We'll see once we get into flower on what side she leans on. But this Pheno number is beautiful. Thin leaf structure, looking really nice. Some of these are definitely looking like already like the Bomba. Big, beautiful, powerful, crazy terps. Great work, Brian. They're loving the foliar sprays, bro. I'll try and remember to put the link in the description, but Cronk has basically created a link inside GPT that knows everything about Cronk, and you can ask it anything. Be like, hey, I want to do a foliar spray. I'm in week 4 veg. What would you recommend? And it'll shoot out all the information you want. Or you could ask it, why is armadillo armor important to my plants? And it's just going to break it down. So really cool. Cronk Nutrients on the Puur Organics is everything we're using here in the greenhouse. We only have to feed once a week, which is really nice. Everything else can be water, and we don't even have to pH the water or anything. You just give these ladies water, give them good food once a week, and look at the results. Really, really nice. Let's hop into our next and last 2 beds. Moweeto cross to Emoji, and then we'll talk about the yikes. But let's talk about the Moweeto first. You gotta keep a really close eye on all these Moweetos. But the buds, you know, in the indoor, look incredible. We had to pick off all the pollen sacs, total pain in the ass. It's never a strain we would ever want to launch without, you know, further working on it. But honestly, this might just be a dead end cross. I don't know if we're gonna do anything else with Moweeto. Very beautiful bud, but very problematic when it comes to hermaphroditic traits. That being said, this whole bed is, as far as the homemade crosses, one of the fullest, or if not the last bed. You can see right away some of them remind me of the Watermelon Emoji leaves. You can see some of them that are just bigger and look like the Moweeto. That thing's crazy, huh? A little bit of purpling on the stem, but she's looking good. Yeah, anything that was really small when I came to do the topping, we didn't top it. So things like that, it's just one main stem, whereas other ones like this here, you know, this has got 4 stem, you know, 4 top bud sites. This one's got 4 as well. And so today when we put the trellis on, if we even have enough for this section, but I see a few huge winners over there, bro. Beautiful, beautiful. Wow, this one's already got like 8 tops already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tops. Looking nice, bro. Moweeto cross to Emoji, although potentially a failed breeding project, could still be a fun final project to compare the outdoors. Maybe the outdoors don't herm at all, I don't know. We'll have to see. So here's our last bed. This is a plant that Grow Bro Bryan found at his house. Tu encontraste este Pheno. This is the Yikes from Exotic Genetics. Yikes is a cross, I believe, of Falcon 9 to Lemon Cherry Gelato. and we took that and we crossed it into the Watermelon Emoji. This one we're kind of just doing for fun, just to test and see. This was a request from Grow Bro Bryan to see this lady put into a cross, and here she is. Very healthy, bro. Really nice. Like the whole thing just looks gorgeous up in here compared to last month's update.
Esta fue tan buena que yo competí con esta.
The Caribbean Cup, bro. So I didn't know. I forgot about that. So Bry actually took the Yikes number 4 and competed in the cup with that. We didn't take a cup home with it, but I think he got a lot of compliments as far as the cultivar itself and then how he grew it. So everything looks like it has a top in here. Everything's got about 4 to 6 different bud sites, tops coming out, right? Like if we look down on this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, whereas this one just has 1. These ones we didn't top because they were so small, but you can see our technique and why we do that is now look, they're the exact same height. The ones that got the top to the ones that didn't get the top, just trying to level out the canopy. So if you have shorter plants, don't top them, and your taller plants, top them. And that way, it's a really easy way to train them. And obviously what we can do once we got the scrog net in, boom, we're just gonna lay everything to the side like so, and then these are all going to become new tops and everything's gonna level out, look good. Another way we could easily do it if we didn't have a scrog would just be to come in, bend them, give them a little Cushman chiropractics up in here. But so far, Brian, you're a killer grower. You're a good outdoor grower, a good indoor grower, and you're a good flavor chaser, bro.
Sí, tratamos de siempre dar lo mejor, pues obviamente en todas las partes que trabajemos. Acá en el outdoor también tratamos, obviamente, combatir mucho, pero siempre estar en esa insistencia. En el CO2, pues ahí en las carpas también se responde bien.
Really well said. So,
Run it up.
some work to do now. We're gonna get the biodegradable scrog nets out. We'll put them on the first 4 beds because I think we only have 4 brand new ones. The net that we use, Common Culture is what it's called. It's biodegradable. We got it from Grower's House, really good pricing, and we just made an order yesterday to get enough to finish the greenhouse because right now we only have 4 nets and we got 8 beds to do. Let us know in the comments, guys, what your thoughts are as far as flowering time. 63 days veg is what they're at right now. Do we push it to 90 or is that way too much? And then I'm also very curious, out of all 8 strains that we just showed you, all 8 cultivars, 9, 10 maybe with the different CBD ones, which ones got you guys most excited to see in this outdoor run? And then as you guys may have seen at the end of the last episode and from the uploads coming now, we have the second greenhouse up and running. Those uploads are gonna be posted separately. So we're gonna post updates from the indoor, the bamboo classic Colombian greenhouse, and then in other uploads, we're gonna be doing the straight up brand new greenhouse with our first run of autos we've done in a long time. And that's looking pretty good as well. So lots of content coming out, guys. Make sure you guys stay tuned to the channel. Thanks so much for watching and let's get to work. So quick little update as we're midway through it. On stuff like the Ultra Pink from Trilogene, we came through, did another big aggressive topping, really took some size off from here. You can see everything on the side here, but like, you know, literally some big ones here and there, just to fully level out the canopy. And then we're gonna throw the net on as well. And over the next few days, what we'll do is we'll just, you know, get training them. So here's the Pungent Punch. And we'll just slowly keep pulling them further and further away. But Pungent Punch done. This one's gonna be actually pretty interesting because on all the Grape Graffiti, we actually didn't top them yet. We just fully trained them down pretty aggressively. And we may have to end up topping a few, but there they are in all their beauty, looking good. So we're gonna throw one more net on, the move with all the homemade crosses, all the emoji crosses. We're just gonna come through today, top them all, and then we're gonna finish putting on the nets here later on. Looking good. Here's the Toronjaz emoji on these, just aggressive top. All right, Bry, there it is. We did it, buddy. So we'll bounce back in a few days and see how this has changed. Here's the Trilogene bed. So much more training to do over the next few days when things kind of bounce back. But at least the scrog is on. A lot of things topped. And it looks crazy, looks like a mess. But give it a few days, everything's gonna bounce right back. All right, so what we'll do, we'll come back in a few days and just keep pulling them. There it is. So we'll see him in a few days. It's gonna be a whole new world in here. All right, buddy, here we are. Back in the greenhouse.
Woo! Today's a bit more cold, eh?
Yeah,
Oof, I'm happy I have the sweater on.
it is chilly, bro. Hasn't rained much today, but the actual weather has been chilly today.
This is the CBD bed, right?
Yeah, the CBD bed, bro.
With this. Oh, and here as well.
Yeah, it's pretty, huh?
Yeah. And now
nice.
they also look much more vigorous. They're healthy.
Yeah.
They're like going for it. You put these crocs on when exactly?
So this was done probably about 5 days ago, and they've responded really nice. Out of all the beds, I'd say the Don here from Trilogene has responded perfectly, bro.
Yeah. I see everywhere the shoots are already completely through. If this is only the growth of 3 days, that is incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, they've responded nice. So there's still, so perfect. So yeah, there's still some tucking like this. We'll get done on some branches. We still got time to do it.
Here, for example, some branches are growing over the bed.
Right.
So here as well, you want to tuck it in, basically. That's what these nets are for. Give it extra support. Make sure they stay at the inside.
Yes.
Otherwise, if you have it here and there, you're not going to be able to pass. And when you pass, you're going to touch the flowers all the time, and that's no good.
Right. So the first 3 beds are pretty much done. And the mission today, Q, is we got to finish bed 4, 5, 6, and 7.
If anything, you already told me that you want to do later on, maybe even a second layer of croc nets.
How cool would that be, bro? What do you guys think, chat? If we threw PVC pipe connected from here,
Here,
just, yeah, up a little bit,
and here, pull.
and then a
then-
second layer scrog as they flower out would be sick, dude.
That would be like completely the opposite of what we did the last time. The last time was fast, quick, just small plants and a lot of plants. We had 500 plants in this greenhouse.
Yeah,
And now there's about 200,
260-ish.
but we could make them much bigger. I think it's a nice investigation, and I'm thinking that this way we could have so much more flowers.
Yeah, bro, truly. So looking nice and level so far in the Dawn. We'll come back in a bit and do some more tucking on stuff like this. But let's see how much scrog we actually have left over. Oh, this is perfect. So 1 roll from that common culture, this biodegradable trellis, will fit 2 of our beds.
Oh, nice.
That is perfect, bro.
Yeah, the material has also proven to be good. In the last run, none of it was destroyed.
No.
When we wanted to harvest, we just cut it through easy. And because it's biodegradable, we could just throw it in the compost.
Yeah, and it's super strong, hey? When we stretch it out, it never broke once.